Hey, Dalvin. Obviously, that you guys had a tough time getting after Kyler, tough time stopping the run. It wasn't the typical defensive line performance. Why do you think that was?
It's just one of those we had to pay attention to all the key details, the small things, and we didn't execute to the highest of our ability. So we have to make sure we execute at the level we want to.
When you saw that every team in the NFC East won but you guys yesterday, what's the reaction of that? And, falling out of, there's a way to go, but you were controlling your own destiny if you believe in that saying, and now you're not.
We just want to take it one week at a time, and like you said, we didn't finish last game like we wanted to, so we have to just come in and go back to trust the process and go back to work and improve and take it one week at a time and focus on Cleveland next week.
Sure. Hey, Dalvin. Honestly, if I asked you about the NFC East and asked you for the order and the records of the four teams, could you give them to me?
But not at all.
I mean, not close. I mean, not even within a game or two.
I don't even look at other records. I just focus on us week in and week out and just who our opponent is and just pretty much the game plan. I don't focus on other teams and if they won or lost for the most part. We just want to come in and week out and just grind.
So the fact that you guys are in a playoff race and dropped from first to second, I know that's not your main focus, but it has to be some kind of a focus because the playoffs are always a carrot that a player wants to get. So what do the playoffs mean at this point?
The playoffs is everything because, as a team, that's you want to go to the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. That's the biggest thing across the teams of the NFL. And as you know, we have to take it one week at a time and just take it step by step. If we look too far ahead, you mess out on the moment now.
Thank you.
Dalvin, I know every opponent is different, but in general, what do you think your team's blueprint is for winning a game?
Physicality. On the defensive side, it's all physicality. We got players and coaches that we all built on physicality up front, especially up front. We have to be physical. Have to set edges. We have to break on passes. We have to deflect passes, hit the quarterback, get in their head, and just be physical across the board.
You think physicality was missing in that game yesterday, or was it a different kind of opponent that you're used to that gave you other problems?
Can you say that again? Your voice went out on my screen.
Were you did physicality lack in yesterday's game on your part, or were there other factors as a team too? I'm not just talking about defense, but just as a team, were there other factors about this specific opponent that gave you guys issues, or did you guys have failings yourself?
I just feel like we didn't execute the game plan. I just feel like across the board, we wasn't focused. We didn't execute the small things, I would say.
Thanks.
Jordan.
Hey, Dalvin. It hasn't been that long ago. You guys made a huge trade with the team you're playing, and you guys traded obviously Odell to Cleveland. What do you remember at the time of thinking when that went down, and then several years later, the part of that payoff was that Dex is part of what you got back in return, and him being a part of your line now.
What's the question I want to ask?
What do you remember thinking when he was traded, and now part of the payoff is that Dex is on your team?
I would have to just say whoever players are in the building, we're going to go to war with. Love all the players I've had an opportunity to play with, and love Dex to death. And whoever's in the building, I'm going to go to war with each and every day and go to work with. So whoever's in the building, I'm going to work with.
How big a part of your line has he been?
Dex?
Yeah.
Dex is a huge part of our defensive line. He's a big contributor to our defensive line, make plays, and he's just a big person, I guess you could say, take up a lot of space.
Robert.
Dalvin, will you watch tonight's game with a little more interest since you play the Browns? And do you have any general impressions of how they've played this year and how you might need to attack them?
I watched the game a little. I'll probably watch half of it because I can't watch the whole thing. I get too involved trying to break down stuff. And, every team, they play every team differently. So I want to break down the film and things like that tomorrow and Wednesday. just see how they're going to attack us.
Do you have any general impressions of, from the outside of how they've been and what kind of challenge they will present to your defense?
Oh, yeah, they have good running backs, and, they have some stars on offense. You have to shut down on defense, and we have to stop the run is the key thing. If you don't stop the run, you won't have an opportunity to affect the pass. So that was probably the biggest thing. And
do you think there's a sense among the players now that you really lost an opportunity yesterday, not only with the loss, but just how it went? It was just not, that was very atypical of not playing a close game at all.
Yeah, I think we all have a bad taste in our mouths. But like you said, I wouldn't say it's a lost opportunity. I just feel like, we just didn't play the football we wanted to play. So we have to just come out this week and play how we want to play and show some Giants football.
Do you, with only 3 games left, I know it's not a lot, but do you think that this team will not play a game like you did yesterday in terms of how it got away?
Yeah, that's the mentality. One of the focuses. We just don't want to make the same mistakes we made this past week. We want to build off of that game and learn from the mistakes we made and just not repeat them.